yet another wonderful session at BYJU'S Champions. I'm Aishwarya and today we are going to be doing the last leg of our beneficial microbes session where we will talk about how important the microbes are for our environment. And I can see that a lot of you are here already. I can see Devendra, Yajnesh, I hope I got that right. I have Papya, Harsimran, Aditya. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. It's not evening yet, but yeah, good afternoon. Sorry about that. Yes, all right. I can see Rahul is here. Hello. How was all of your day? How was it at school? Or do you still have summer vacations going on? I can see Nancy is here. Hi Nancy. I hope I'm getting your name right. Very interesting name. Hi Savya. Hello. Yes. How was your day? I can see that the enthusiasm here is slightly less than normal, right? I think that it's a 4 p.m. session for the first time and I can see that a lot of you are still not here, so we're going to wait about a minute or two. Tell your friends to come. Tell them to join the session because it's going to be very interesting. Came from school to attend 3 p.m. Wow, that is amazing, Rahul. Well done that you just came back from school and you're already here. All right, okay. I am amazing. Right, I'm feeling great. I'm great that I'm with all of you. Hi Vikas, I can see you're very excited. Hello. Yes, all right. My weekend was amazing, Anukriti. I had a very nice weekend. I hope that you did too. Hi Stuti, hello. Yes, all right. So again, we're going to wait a minute because I still see excitement, right? Do you guys feel excitement is there? Right, we need some more excitement to go on, right? You guys tell me, what do you feel? Hi Sonia. Yes. Papi, I want to start too, right? But I want a lot of you more to come, yes? Hi Gayatri. Hello. Yes. Tuti, I did call out your name. All right. I can see Sindhu Bai is here. Hello. I think you can tell me your name. I think you're using your parents' account, right? Yes. All right. Hi Ranjana. Yes, okay then. 18 are here. Okay, that's amazing, Papya, but we need more, right? We need more people. Hi, Anamika. Hi, Akshay. Yes, all right. Okay then, of course, I can see that a lot of you are here. Hi, Arpita. Yes, thank you for telling me your name. I'll remember this. Hi, Little Hearts. Hi, Manvi. Hi, Rakhi. Yes, I am amazing. 19 people are there, but still, guys, we need most of your friends to come back because I see that a lot of them are missing, but not a problem. Let's get started with our class because so far we've had a look at microbes that benefit in the food industry, beneficial microbes in the medicine field, especially we spoke about vaccines and antibiotics. And if a lot of you are new here in the class and this is the first time you are attending, welcome to the class, right? Welcome, and let's hope that, we are going to have a wonderful journey in our session today. Yes? All right. So now, of course, for those of you who are very new, we, of course, have the trial classes and, of course, the BYJU'S classes for all of you with the 2-teacher advantage. You have seen the 2-teacher advantage on YouTube, right? When I come with Ankita ma'am or when Saurabh sir is there, you've always seen how amazing the 2-teacher advantage is. But now you can take it and you can use this code YT free and you can use the link in the description box because it's a limited time offer and you can check it out. And in case if you're already, doing or if you're part of it, tell your friends, tell them about it. It will definitely help you as it will help you attend these classes at your own schedule. Yes, and for those of you who are new again, please do join our Telegram channel because you get session updates, session notes, homework questions, revision questions, and so much more. I can see Harsimran has already tried it. That's amazing, Harsimran. I hope you've told your friends about it as well. Hi, Kanya. Very interesting name, right? Kanya. Hi, Pragati. Yes. All right. Now, how many of you remember the previous weeks or the last week when we spoke about vaccines and antibiotics? We had a homework question, right? How many of you have, written the homework question? Yes, Naman is having some network problem. Not an issue, Naman. Don't worry. In case if you miss out here and there, then what we will do is we will, of course, you can come back and watch the session, right? Yes, all right. What is the name of the Telegram channel? The link is there in the description box, Arpita. I understand that a lot of you are, very young to be part of Telegram. So not an issue. Please request your parents to join on your behalf. They will tell you when what is happening and that will not be a problem. No problem, Sunidhi. No problem. Oh, it's Arush. Sorry about that, Arush. No issues, right? Yes, all right. So the soap and pepper experiment, Anukriti is putting in bold letters, and I would like to bring to all of your notice that there has been a slight reschedule in that, right? So it may not be happening today due to some technical issues. So very sorry, we didn't want to keep you waiting with this. So it will be happening later on. I'm very, very sorry, but stay tuned to it. It's very exciting, right? Yes, all right. Amazing, Kanishka. I am amazing. I hope you are too. So the last homework question was on what are antibiotics and what are the precautions that must be taken while using antibiotics. So this was the previous session that we spoke about in beneficial microbes, and we were also talking about their importance in vaccines and antibiotics, right? So in this particular session, we had dealt about all of this. So how many of you have or know the answer to this? What are antibiotics? No, Kanakaraju, I am not ignoring you, right? Please don't tell me that, because I sometimes may miss out when I'm teaching, but I'm not ignoring you. Aditya, you can try it once again. Maybe after the session, I will quickly go and check it out, right? And I will make sure that the Telegram link works. Yes? Okay, all right. No issues, Avinash. You can tell your and request your parents to join on your behalf. Anahita says that she has written the answer. Very good. Given as bacteria. Okay. All right. Yes. So we know that antibiotics are nothing but chemical substances that are obtained from other microorganisms that help with killing the other disease-causing microbes. And what precautions must be taken? We need to make sure that these antibiotics are, first of all prescribed by the doctor. Then we need to make sure that the course is completed. We shouldn't finish before, or we shouldn't over-consume antibiotics, right? Yes, hi Arush, I've already seen your message, and very quickly I'm going to read out some of the comments or the answers that were given by some of the students here. And in case if you have not given the answer yet, you can definitely go and check it out, right? Yes, all right. So here I can see that Joydeep has given the answer, Shishmita has given the answer, Sneha, Sirinihita, I can see that Anika, there's Smita, Payal, I can see Science Fly, and I also remember that a lot of you otherwise, I remember some of the names right off the top of my head. I remember Harsimran was there, I remember Gungun had given the answer, I remember Ritika had given the answer, but of course on YouTube we are facing some issues with comments where some of the comments are not appearing later on, so we are looking into it, and for those of you whose name I have missed, I am very sorry about that, right? So of course this was all about the homework questions. We will move on to the next thing that we are learning today. We are going to be talking about beneficial microbes in the environment. And so far we have looked at so many already. We've looked at microbes in the food industry. We have looked at microbes in vaccines and even in antibiotics. How many of you, right? How many of you even imagined that these tiny microbes are of great utilization? How many of you were shocked with the fact that these guys are really helpful for us? How many of you were? Because when I studied for the first time, I surely was. Hi Shaurya Arts, hello, yes, all right. I can see Manvi says me, right, me too, right? A lot of them here are saying that. Okay, yes Papia, I will take that into consideration. Yes, from next time I will take that. Okay, I can see a lot of you were stunned. Now in today's class, right, of course in your textbook, if you see, especially in NCERT, when we talk about beneficial microbes in the environment, they tell you a little bit about it, but they don't tell you too much. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to be telling you about what is of course there in your text, but also some interesting facts as well, which will totally, you'll be mind boggled. You'll be like, whoa, how amazing are these microbes, right? So very quickly we are going to look at what all we will be looking today. Some other beneficial uses are of course in improving soil fertility that we will learn about. We will learn about how they clean the environment, how they help in agriculture, and in what all industries that they are used, right? Yes, all right. I can see Pratiksha is new. Welcome to the class, Pratiksha. I'm Aishwarya, and today, of course, we are going to be talking about beneficial microbes in the environment, right? Yes, all right. Don't worry, Anukriti. We are working on it. It will get sorted. Yes? All right. It will be shared. Don't worry. Yes, all right. So first up, we are going to be talking about in how microbes help in improving the soil fertility, right? Now, all of you have learned about crop production chapter. No, we've learned about crop production. Yes, and for those of you who have still not checked those videos out, do go check it out. It's very interesting, right? Yes, all right. Now, in crop production, we also learnt about soil fertility. Now, what do you remember about soil fertility? Yes? No problem, Chahat. No issues, right? Yes. How many of you remember soil fertility? Can you quickly tell me what you remember about soil fertility? Yes? Abhishek, you will find the details in the description box. Can we focus on the class? I will take you through it once again, right? I will take you through it in the end. We'll focus on the class for now, okay? Yes, very good, Harsimran. Rhizobium bacteria, right? Yes, all right. Very good, rhizobium bacteria. All of you are giving me the answer to this about what is going to help us, right? But then again, what we need to focus on is what do we mean by soil fertility, or when we say soil is fertile, what do we mean by that? It is very simple. It means that soil needs to have many nutrients, right? It needs to have all the important nutrients that helps with growth of the plant, right? And we know that one very important nutrient is nitrogen. Yes, or I would say an element. But sadly, plants cannot take it directly from the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, we have gaseous nitrogen, right? It is in the gaseous form, right? Are we following? Now what happens is that, of course, we know oxygen will enter into, carbon dioxide will enter into the plant, oxygen will enter into the plant, nitrogen will also enter into the plant, surprisingly. Because most often when we say plants cannot obtain nitrogen, we think even gaseous nitrogen will not enter, right? But interestingly, they will enter, but they will also exit. They will not be utilized, right? So they are not able to utilize that gaseous nitrogen. That is what we mean by utilizing, right? Which is why, especially in some plants, like how all of you have told me, because you guys are that brilliant, we have some leguminous plants, right? Yes, we have leguminous plants, and of course, we see that in the roots, we see that there are these small bulge structures here, right? We see that there are bulge structures which are called as root nodules, yes? We have also learnt about this. We have learnt about root nodules that consist of rhizobium. Very good. Yes, I can see a lot of you are telling me. For those of you for whom the picture is blurred, it's probably due to some internet lag, right? So please, do make sure that you refresh your page. Yes, all right. So are we clear? Root nodules are there. Very good, Bhaskar. Leguminous plants like pea and gram have these root nodules that consist of rhizobium that will convert the atmospheric nitrogen, right? Or I will make it very simple for you. Let's just say gaseous nitrogen, right? It will convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form, and thereby it will make the soil extremely fertile because it is enriching in nutrients. Yes? Very simple and easy concept, right, on how this particular microbe helps in improving soil fertility. Very good, Akshay. It's a symbiotic relationship. Very good. They help each other. The rhizobium helps in fixing nitrogen, and on the other hand, the plant is providing shelter. And we call such organisms, right? So an added extra point that you need to remember here is that we call such organisms as biological nitrogen fixers. Yes, I'm writing this down so that you can make a note of it. Microbes that have the ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form is what we call as biological nitrogen fixers. I hope you can see this. Hi Divyakshu, I'm Aishwarya and we are learning about microorganisms, friend and foe. Hi Aradhya, welcome to the class. I can see you are new here. So we are talking about beneficial microbes in the environment, right? Yes, are we clear with this part? Very quickly in the chat, let me know if we are good to go. Very good, Nirali. Biological nitrogen fixers. Yes. Hi, Shivam. Hello. I can see a lot of you are saying clear. It's good to go. It's a very simple concept that you've already learnt about in 7th grade especially, right? Yes. All right. Good to go. So then very quickly, can all of you guys tell me the answer to this? Which of the following fixes nitrogen in leguminous plants? Is it a virus? Is it a bacteria? Is it amoeba or fungus? Yes. So Simran is asking me what does leguminous mean, right? So in the meanwhile, I'll explain this to you, Simran. We say leguminous because in these plants, no, the fruit that they have or the fruit that they have, especially in peas, right, you would have seen this kind of a shape. This shape or this kind of fruit is what we call as a legume. Hence, they are known as leguminous plants. Very good, guys. Very good. You are all super brilliant as usual. The correct answer here is option B, bacteria, because rhizobium is a bacteria. Very important to remember. And again, another thing that we will of course discuss later on is that there are various other bacteria that help with soil fertility as well. Now let's quickly move on to the next part, that is cleaning the environment, right? How are nitrogen or how are these bacteria and microbes cleaning the environment? Are they going with one mop and broom and cleaning the environment? Are they doing something like that? No, right? Because microbes are teeny tiny organisms. And what do we mean by cleaning the environment? Any of you remember this? Yes, Shivam, we will have it very soon. Don't worry about it. Yes, very good, Akshay. Decomposers, right? Now, decomposers do what action? Can you tell me? When will we discuss nitrogen cycle? Harsimran, very soon. Not in this particular this session, because nitrogen cycle takes a lot of time to talk about, okay? So that you be crystal clear with that concept. So in this session, of course, we are not doing nitrogen cycle, but we will do it very soon. Don't worry about it. Yes, of course. Yeah. Yes, Papi. I mean, just think about that. That's sometimes how I imagine all these things. Manure. Okay. Very good, Nirali. They help decompose dead organisms, right? So a very important term that I'm getting from all of you, right? They don't attack. They're not attacking anybody. These are good microbes. They're very helpful, right? Don't say they attack. They'll only feel so bad. So of course we have decomposition as a process, right? Now what do we mean by decomposition? Now decomposition is nothing but a process by which some organisms, right? So in this case, organisms like bacteria and fungi, right? They break down. I'm writing this because this is a very important definition, right? So they break down dead and decaying matter. Very, very important keyword, right? Dead and decaying matter into simple compounds. So this is what we mean by the process of decomposition. Are we clear? Yes, Arpita, I'll explain once again. So decomposition is a process by which organisms like bacteria and fungi, right? We know that there are various, eventually in living organisms, they are born, they complete their lifespan and eventually they will die, right? And we know that whether it's animals or plants, they eventually come to the end of their lifespan and they will be dead. And in these cases, what we observe is that these microbes will feed on the dead and decaying matter. So they will act on this dead and decaying matter and eventually they will break down the complex form into simpler substances, right? And we call this process as decomposition. And this is the definition that I have written down. Are we clear? Very simple concept. And we call such organisms as decomposers, right? And that's how they clean the environment. Yes? Yes, very good. This nutrition is called saprophytic mode of nutrition. Very good. Decaying matter is nothing but an organism. So sometimes, let me give you an example, right? So sometimes if you would have seen, right, when we throw away vegetable peels and when we throw away these fruit peels and all of that, after a point, you see that they'll be half broken down and they'll be in a form, or they would be in a kind of state where they're not exactly what they used to look like and they're in the process of withering off, right? That's what we call as decaying, right? Yes, Nicole, I have just explained it. I hope that you've got the concept behind what is decomposition. Are we clear? Yes. Eagles are not decomposers. No, eagles are not decomposers. Right. If no decomposers are there, the dead and decaying matter will pile up. Very good. Yes, very good. All right. So, Aradhya, eutrophication. Whoa, that's a very big one. Aradhya, can you do me one small favor? Can you ask me this question towards the end once again? Because we may deviate if I'm going to explain eutrophication here, right? Yes. All fungi help. Again, you know, in nature we have exceptions. So I will rephrase this to most fungi do help in the process of decomposition. Because you will find exceptions no matter what, right? Yes, all right. Very good, very good. So are we clear with this very simple concept? It's a very simple concept. Yes, all right. Very quickly, no problem, Nancy. We are just midway through our session. Yes? All right. So now, of course, this is a small activity that is there, but a very important question, which is when we talk about our environment, right? We talk so much about how it's important to take care of our environment, and of course, there's a lot of plastic consumption that is there. So does plastic undergo the same decomposition process? What do you guys think? Yes? Very good, Papya, very good. Yes, all right. Okay. So, Shrikar, I'm not able to follow your question. So, can you quickly tell me, does fungi process with bacteria? So, more or less, they act on it, right? Yes, I can see a lot of you are telling me no, right? So, here's a quick activity. So, here, as you can see, there are two beakers, A and B. In A, of course, we have vegetable peels. Yes, and in B, we have a lot of plastic items kept here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put microorganisms in both, right? But then again, what we observe is after a prolonged period of time, we see that in A, we will not see those fruit peels and vegetable peels because they are all decomposed, yes? But the plastic would remain as it is. Very good. Plastic comes under the category of non-biodegradable, right? Yes, all right. Now, of course, one very interesting thing that is there is that a normal plastic bottle, and actually I will not even say interesting, it's a tad bit scary also, that a plastic bottle that we consume takes about 450 years to be naturally decomposed, for it to break down, right? And plastic cups takes about 50 to 80 years. And I'm talking about one bottle here. And all over the world, we see that around 13 billion, right? So we see that 13 billion takes, or I would say 13 billion of it is being used, which is why it takes millions of years. I'm just talking about one, right? Very good. We see that the microbes cannot act on plastic. Yes. Very good, Aditya. But now I'm going to tell you that is going to surprise you, right? Because we are students of science and technology, and science is always evolving, right? We're always trying to figure out. So now, of course, if you see, it's very simple. We know, and all the scientists know, that this plastic accumulation is a problem, right? And we see that it takes so long to decompose, which means that we are going to have piles and piles of plastic and nowhere to throw it, right? The only way we can do is, of course, to recycle it. But of course, there's an extent up to which we can do that, right? Which is why around the year 2016, a group of Japanese scientists made a remarkable discovery. What they found out was that there was a certain kind of bacteria, right? So there was a certain type of bacteria which could feed on, right? It could actually break down a certain type of plastic. So I'm specifying this because it's highly specific, okay? It's not that it can break down all the plastic. So it could, break down a certain kind of plastic. And this bacteria and the way it was working revolutionized science. And even now, to present day, they are working on it, right? So we call this particular bacteria, it's a very long name. So I'm going to write it on at the bottom here maybe. It is called as Ideonella sacaiensis, right? So this is what we call this particular bacteria, right? How many of you have heard about this, right? Yes, glass also takes a very long time to decompose. There is bioplastic. Yes, they're all working on it, right? So constantly we are also trying to renovate and see what we can do better. Yes, very good. 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yes. All right. How many of you are fascinated by this fact? Like you're hearing it for the first time and you are mind blown. Yes, this was surprising, right? And what is even more interesting is from 2016, they have been researching more and more on how the Ideonella works, and they have tried to, make more advanced other organisms, which is why if you start reading about it, you will find so many more, right? All right. Yes, very good, Akshay. You can research. Yes. All right. So again, somebody was asking me to explain the activity ones. So we have two beakers, A and B. In A, we will put some vegetable peels, right? And in B, we are going to put plastic. And then we are going to add microbes in both. And after a long time, we're going to see what happens. We see that the decomposing microbes will act on the vegetable peel, the peels that are there, but it will not act on plastic, right? Yes. All right. Yes, Shrikar, I've heard that living bacteria. I think your question is incomplete, so can you tell me? Living bacteria are there on our bodies. Yes, it is there. They are called as the gut microbes and they help us survive, right? Yes, all right. Okay, as I can see, a lot of these things are clear. What are decomposers? Decomposers are nothing but organisms that break down these complex molecules into simpler substances, right? Yes, and they act on dead and decaying matter, right? Examples are fungi. Most fungi are there. They are in that. Okay, how can we add bacteria? So this is a very interesting question and it may deviate from what I have planned. But normally, and I know if you ask me a lot of follow-up questions on this, I can go on and on. So don't worry, maybe if you want more on this, you tell me in the comment section. I will definitely take a session on this. But actually in the laboratories, we can culture bacteria. We can grow these bacteria that we want to grow on certain nutrients, right? So in like a nutrient medium, which is nothing but, like a bottle with some liquid nutrients and all of that in it. So what we can do is we can, put one bacteria and give it ideal conditions to grow. It will be able to grow. Once we grow it, we can add on it. I hope that I have answered your question, right? Yes. Hi Priya, welcome to the class. So now, of course, we have looked at how they help in cleaning the environment. Very quickly, we are going to be talking about how they help in agriculture. And actually, agriculture and improving soil fertility goes hand in hand, right? Because we see that there are various microorganisms that act as natural fertilizers that help in improving soil fertility, right? And of course, we have something known as biocontrol agents. Yes, all right. So in this case, what we will do is, here it's going to be very interesting. Okay, so I will first tell you about natural fertilizers because you already know about it. Now in natural fertilizers, rhizobium is an example because it's a biological nitrogen fixer, it improves soil fertility. But apart from that, we also see there are various microorganisms like nitrobacter, cyanobacteria, annabella, all of which will improve soil fertility, right? And we see that, of course, in the agricultural field, a mixture of these are, of course, some examples, but we use various such organisms, right? And what we will do is we will make a biological preparation and they are called as biofertilizers. So biofertilizers are nothing but living organisms that are added to the soil that helps in improving soil fertility. Yes, azospirillum, right? Azospirillum is an example. Nostoc, spirulina, very good. Azotobacter, very, very good, guys. Good examples coming my way. And as you can see, they're called as biofertilizers because they help in improving soil fertility. And of course, they help in their living organisms. Annabella sounds like Annabelle. Right, yes. All right. Very good, Manvi. You have made notes about it. Very good. Now, of course, we have something known as biocontrol agents. Now, how many of you remember that, we know that there are some organisms that go and they feed on crops, right? They'll feed and they'll destroy these crops, and there's some unwanted insects which we call as pests, right? So we see that there are some microorganisms organisms that can actually be sprayed or they can be used to protect the crops from these insects, right? Yes, ma'am, these are natural fertilizers. Fertilizers can be natural or organic. Okay, so again I'll tell you one thing here, okay? I get your question, intellectual world, why are we using the term fertilizer, right? Now one thing is manure, right? So this again I'm going to be deviating, but I think it's a common question that might be there. So we have manure and we have fertilizer, right? And what did I tell you? The most common thing is that manure is obtained organically or from nature. Fertilizer is chemically prepared. Now one thing is that these microbes which we are using as biofertilizers are of course chemically grown, or they are grown in the labs and then they are transferred to the soil, right? Which is why we call it as biofertilizers. So I hope that I have got this answer sorted. Yes? Very good. We use pesticides to protect crops, Aditya, but we also know pesticides are chemicals and they may be harmful, right? Which is why these are all some alternatives that we use where they are not harmful, they do not affect the humans, right? Whoever is consuming it. Yes, and we also see that it helps in making the crops healthy, right? So of course, what you see here is that there are some examples such as Bacillus thuringiensis, Trichoderma, baculoviruses, which all help in this. Okay, I'm going to go back to that part once again because intellectual world has not understood this part. So are we clear with the fact that we have manure and fertilizer, right? And we know that manure is obtained from all the organic components like vegetable peels, dead and decaying matter. When we put it into a pit and we grow it, like when the microbes act on it, it of course gives you manure, right? But we know that the biggest way in which we define fertilizers is that they are chemically or they are manufactured in factories. And of course we use inorganic salts. But we can also use these bacteria that are naturally found. And to make it as a fertilizer, something that can be sold out, these bacteria, these other organisms, especially the microbes, they are cultivated in large scale in the factories or in the laboratories. So effectively it is synthesized. It's not something, of course it's available naturally, but what is being used is from the factory to the soil, which is why biofertilizer, that's why the term fertilizer is there. So are we clear with how they help in nitrogen, how they help in agricultural field as biocontrol agents, right? Now we call it as biological control, again because living organisms controlling the growth of other living organisms, hence biological control agents, or simply BCA. Yes, are we clear? I know that this is a lot to process and I do understand that sometimes this can be too much, but are you enjoying this? You're getting to know a lot more than what is there, right? Yes, are we good to go? Are you enjoying this? Let me know, right? Yes, all right. Let me know in the chat. Amazing, amazing. You guys are enjoying it. See, this is the only way I get to know, right? Okay, this extra information is helping them. But in case if you feel like, okay, ma'am, this is becoming too much for me, I'm not able to understand, then I'll make it a point that I will give you simple information, right? So I'm here for you. I always tell you that. Okay, Papya, not a problem. Yes, all right. Yes, Manvi, we will do some interesting facts on bacteriophage very soon. Drop me a comment in this video, right? Don't forget to do that. Then only I will be able to remember. Extra info is needed. Very good. Now, of course, this particular part, right? That, of course, on how they are used in industries. Yes? So, I'm not going to go into the details of it because if we go, then we'll have to talk about how in this industry, what process is going to happen. It's going to be very tough, okay? Like, I don't want to make it too tough also, so I'll just tell you bits and pieces of how they are used. Ankit, if you have any doubts, please tell me. If something is not clear, I'll help you out with it, okay? All right, okay. So now, of course, some of the industrial uses where we use microbes. Yes, Akshay, alcoholic industry or, alcohol manufacture, we've already covered that. But apart from that, some interesting industries where we use is that sewage treatment, retting and tanning, and biogas, right? Yes, Papya, it's not a problem, right? I'm agreeing with you, right? Don't worry, we're all here for you. Yes, let's focus on the class, okay? Yes, very good, Avya. Yes, it is used to make in factories, right? Very good. What is biogas? Very interesting. Yes, all right. So now, of course, we know about sewage, right? Sewage is nothing but the unwanted decays, I would say the unwanted processed part that comes out from, all the domestic waste that is there from industries. Yes, we are all aware of sewage and what is sewage, right? And most often what happens is that this sewage or this unwanted waste material that is there, this unwanted waste material, what will happen is, it will go and they will discard it in the ocean, which will end up affecting so many of the other organisms in the ocean, which is why we have sewage treatment plants. And of course, there are various stages in which sewage treatment happens, right? But effectively what happens is that they are ultimately, human fecal waste, and of course we have industrial waste that is there, and microorganisms are added at a certain stage, right? And what happens is that all the organic components and all that is part of the sewage, which is organic, and what the microbes can act on, and they will act on it, and thereby they will make the sewage less toxic, making it easy to process it, so that we can clarify the water and filter out the water what we require. So this is one way of obtaining clean water as well, right? It's one very important step. Yes, water pollution, and this is one way of tackling water pollution, that is sewage treatment. So microorganisms are used in this particular industry. Are we clear with this? I'm going to check with every industry that I'm going to talk about. Who is Robert Koch? Manvi, you are 1-2 steps ahead of me, because we are going to have a session on that also. Right, very good Harsimran, very good. Yes. So of course this is all about sewage treatment, and I can see a lot of you are aware about what is sewage treatment, but now you know microbes are also involved in this. Yes. Now next, another industry is the biogas, right? Now what is biogas? Now one thing again is that plant waste and animal fecal matter, especially cow dung, right? What happens is that this cow dung and plant waste are, of course, they are brought together in the factory, and we see that there are certain types of bacteria that are added to it. Now the interesting part about this bacteria is that it will act on this to release methane. And biogas is suggested as an alternative fuel of sorts which can be used for cooking. So now of course we use LPG, right, which is used, and you would have seen big cylinders and all of that at home. Yeah, so instead of that, a more organic and a more sustainable source, that is what I would use here. A more sustainable fuel or a sustainable source of energy that we can use is biogas that we get. And here the thing that we use is methane gas. And methanogens, yes, methanogens are nothing but bacteria that release methane. Very simple, don't get too confused. Methanogens will act on it. Yes, very good Aditya, very good for that. Thank you for that fun fact. Yes, it's like manure. Yes, it's also used to produce electricity. It's environment friendly, very good. Yes, so these are all some spaces where there's a lot of innovation going on. We're figuring out how we can scale it up at a large scale, and of course microorganisms are sitting at the right center of it, right? Because we see that microorganisms have so much potential, and we're all trying to do. Is it natural gas? I would not use that term easily, because we also have natural gas as it is, so I would not call this as natural gas, but we'll say biogas. Yes? All right. Then of course we have something known as retting. Now how many of you have seen jute bags, right? All of you would have seen jute bags, no? Are we clear with this? Please explain biogas again. Okay, I'll come back to this after this. Ankit? Yes, I can see a lot of you are telling me that you have seen this. Very good. So of course for the jute fibers, we get it from a jute plant. Now what happens is that we don't need the whole plant. We need the fibers, which is why we see that they are tied in bundles, and to get the fiber out from the plant, we use certain bacteria. And this process of separating fiber from the stem is what we call as retting. So you see, to obtain jute fibers to make jute bags, we require the bacteria. Very good, Manvi, very good. Yes? All right. So very quickly going back to biogas, we see that biogas is a type of organic, or I would say it's a sustainable source that we can use, wherein human fecal matter, animal fecal matter that is there, they all are acted upon by certain organisms or certain bacteria which we call as methanogens. We call it as methanogens because they will release methane, right? And this methane is what we will use. So they can be used for cooking, right? So all of this is very important. And of course, like a lot of you are telling me, they're a very environmental friendly source, right? So this is what you need to remember. All right. So now due to the interest of time, intellectual world, I may not be able to explain sewage treatment once again. You can just go back and watch it once more. Then of course, lastly, we have tanning. This of course was an earlier process that was done because of course we used to get leather from the skin of certain animals, and to make sure that the skin is smooth to get that leather, we see that there are certain bacteria that act on the skin of these animals, and we call this process as tanning. This of course is a very ancient process. We don't do that anymore, right? Yes, very good, Manvi. Methanogen will release methane. So this of course is very broad understanding of different industries that use microorganisms, right? Of course, this was some extra information. We didn't need to go too much in detail, but I hope now you are aware where, apart from what is there in the textbook, you are aware of which all industries they are a part of. Pliable is usable, simply put. Yes, Harsimran? Sorry, Divyakshu, very sorry about that. So here's a very quick question for all of you. Which of the following plants helps the roots and controls plant pathogens? Or in another way, I'll rephrase this part to controls pests, right? So here, as you can see, we have Bacillus thuringiensis, you have Trichoderma, Baculovirus, or none of these. Yes, all right. Very good, Manvi, very good. Yes. So, of course, this was very specific to one part. Oh, that's amazing, Anahita, that it's all included in your text. Yes, all right. A lot of you are saying Bacillus thuringiensis. As a matter of fact, all three. So when you talk about protecting from pests in itself, right? We see that they are all part of the biological control. Yes, biological control agents, right? That's what we learnt about. Yes, all right. Okay, so very quickly I have a homework question for all of you, wherein prepare a list, right, of daily life activities involving microbial utilization, or let me make it a little more easy for all of you, right? So write 5 regions, or I would say 5 ways in which microbes are beneficial. So this is your homework question, not the one above. Write 5 ways in which microbes are beneficial to us. Yes? All right. Okay. Simran, what are pathogens? I will tell you in detail what pathogens are in our very next session, where we will be talking about them invaders, right? Those invaders that are there, the harmful microbes, and I will be coming live on 29th of June on Wednesday, right? And of course, make sure that you do write your answers in the comment section, because I will definitely be correcting it, and have a look. And this particular question is a short question that you will get in your exam. Most often they will ask you this question, ma'am, what is write 5 ways, write 10 ways, right, or write 2 ways. You will definitely get these kind of questions. So make sure that you have it written down. And of course, due to interest of time, Aditya, I may not be able to answer the doubts. So in the next session, what I'm going to do is put your doubts also in the comment section, so that I will tackle these doubts in the beginning of the class, and then we will go ahead. You will get the PDF today itself, Harsimran, don't worry. And for those of you who are asking about the classes, right, it's of course, as you told me, you have a YouTube, the YT free code, wherein it's a limited time offer, where we see that the premium app, and you get a few days of free trial where you are able to explore this, right? It's a limited time offer, and of course you can buy the course for around if you check the link out, you will be able to know about it. So don't worry about it, right? So you can just check the link that is there in the description. And you know that we we've got you covered no matter what. And if you like this class and you want more such classes, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, especially all the new ones who have attended this class. I hope you really like the class today. Yes, this session helps in my school. That is amazing. I'm glad it's going to be helpful. Thank you so much for being a part of today's class. Hoping to see you very, very soon again. Bye-bye and have a nice day.